I just got to get this shit off my chest. I gotta know how you all feel about this. I mean, how are you all feeling about this? Here we are again with things happening, things coming out. Red Bull is either not being governed like everybody else, being inspected like everybody else. I'm just gonna say this out of the gate, and I'm not gonna say it anymore during the rest of the time of this stream. I am not a Red Bull hater. I'm not a Max hater. I'm just obviously looking at things that are happening just like everybody else and saying, hmm, why is that? Why is that happening? Now here we go. Now, before we had the floor situation, now I already had proven and shown that definitely things changed with Red Bull's floor that were not declared on the upgrade sheet. So that was already there. I already went over the fact that Max and Perez were running two different floors. I even further showed you and told you that things that were verified by F1 journalists that they did not give Perez the floor that they were supposed to give him that Max had because they supposedly didn't have anymore. And then we went over the fact that they couldn't give Perez an older floor because those floors didn't adhere to the technical directive. So we went over that. That's a fact. That's not a conspiracy. Everything that y'all said was a conspiracy was proven to be factual. The only thing is nothing directly came out to say and judge Red Bull to say that you're still running an illegal floor. But I would challenge you to say if the previous floors that were definitely performing and putting them in the position that they are, aside from Ferrari's mess ups, did not adhere to the technical directives, does that not mean that those floors are illegal? But we'll leave that there because now we're in this situation. Now we're in another ballpark. We got other shit going on right now. And right now what we got going on is the fact that supposedly, all right, it's factual that this post came out. It is right now in the air that speculation is growing that Red Bull and Aston Martin may have exceeded Formula One's budget cap in 2021. The FIA's rule offends a long list of potential penalties from fines to exclusion of for a championship. Now, I'm going to go over this. And you know I like to bring receipts, so don't come at me with none of the bullshit shenanigans. All right, because this is happening too. Even good evening, fam. Good evening, everybody. Insane Fat, Mary Beanie, Blue Diva, the three Wildcat. Oh, by the way, got the bottle on deck. Let me show y'all this thing. Okay, here we go right here. Opening up. We got the nice gold cover. Let's go ahead and pull that back and bow. Look at that thing. Look at it. Look at it. That's what we got. So we got the podium bottle, but let's get to some money problems. All right, so listen. I'm not here right now to make this video about saying Red Bull is guilty or not. I will say this. If this is found out to be true, which I don't think it will be, and I'm going to give you two reasons why I don't think it will be. One is because it might obviously not be true. I will also say the speculation is growing, which means smoke is a brewing, and if there's smoke, there's fire somewhere, and evidently there's been fire amongst the Red Bull camp throughout this entire season and last. The second thing I'm going to say is I don't think this is going to come to be because I don't think the FIA and governing bodies want to put Red Bull on a hot ass skillet because if they open up this Pandora's box, it's going to open up a shit ton of other things that they got to go into, and I don't think they want to do that. I think they've been trying to put things under the carpet, but it's hard to store a bunch of junk, mess, and all types of scams until they just come bleeding out. I'm not saying that this is a scam. I'm just saying that growing speculation just so happens to be that they are saying that Aston Martin and Red Bull have went over the cost cap. So let's look at this. By the way, we're going to be live tomorrow for qualifying, the quality kickback. We're going to be live. I'm going to post a link after this. We're going to be live Sunday after the race for finale lap. I'm going to post that, and content will come out tomorrow before qualifying where we go into all the other stuff we went into. But let's check this out. Hey, big shout out to everybody in the chat. Big shout out to everybody tuning in. Big shout out to you all because you made 10K happen. We need 20K, 30K, 40K. So these people have to start paying attention to us. So let's get into this. Now, if this is found to be true, let's look at some of these things. So let's look at the material breach, all right? A material overspend breach. F1 team submits full reporting documentation, relevant cost report if the error exceeds the cost cap by 5% or more, all right? So evidently, there's a line, 5% or more. So now the question may come, if it's a materials overspend breach, Did it exceed that 5%? Even if it doesn't exceed that 5%, is there not something that should happen? Because I think they're giving some play in there. But if it's 5% or more, we should be looking at something. Following the review of the F1 team's full reporting documentation, including where applicable conclusions of any investigation undertaken by the cost cap administration and or independent audit for appointed by the cost cap administration, the F1 team's relevant costs have been determined to exceed the cost cap by 5% or more. In this event, the cost cap adjudication panel determines that the F1 team has committed a material overspend breach. The cost cap adjudication panel shall impose a constructor's, I'm going to tell you what the rest of that says, points. Championship points. Championship points should be Blue Diva. Big shout out to Blue Diva. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put some thank you in it. Blue Diva. Did you see? I did see that. And we will also talk about that. Big ups to Blue Diva first, though. Big ups to you. So, yes, that is one thing. So, we're talking about points, deduction of championship points. In 2021, right? 2022, Toto has already kind of explained how this can be a snowball just rolling as far as the cost cap being breached. That means Red Bull has been over-speculated. Let me put that in there before all the haters get in there and say, you didn't prove nothing, it's conspiracy. Speculated. So shut the hell up right now. So they will go forward. Money will continue to roll. New development, new parts, whereas other teams that are trying to stay within that legal cost cap percentage, no new parts. No more developing. We got to go towards the next season. No administration, positions, all of these things that could lead to a team doing better and competing stronger, they haven't been doing. But if this is the case with Red Bull and Aston Martin, I don't know what the hell. There's no reason for you to go over the cost cap. I mean, you still need to be judged. You still need to be penalized if it's found to be true. But you obviously did not utilize anything that you overspent on because you have not overachieved in any area whatsoever. Not even is your signing of Alonso an overachieving thing. It's not. So this is one thing, right? This is one thing. Championship points is what we're talking about. So let's look into the minor breach, right? So minor overspend breach. An F1 team submits full reporting documentation relevant to the cost cap by less than 5%, all right? Following the review of the F1 team's reporting documentation include, where applicable, the conclusion of the investigation undertaken by the cost cap administration and or independent audit firm appointed by the cost cap administration, the F1 team's relevant costs by determining the exceed cost cap by less than 5%. All right, so in the other one, it was 5% or more. This one is less than 5%. In the event, the cost cap adjudication panel determines that an F1 team has committed a minor overspend breach, the cost cap adjudication panel may impose a financial penalty and or any minor sporting penalties. So as you see, those are two different things that could happen. One is like minor penalties and sporting penalties. The other, as far as materials being spent, leads to deduction of championship points. This is not minor. I know people are trying to pass this shit off like, oh, this is no big deal. Wait a minute. It was a big deal when Lewis Hamilton was like, what, 0.2, 0.02 or 0.22, something over a dimension check? But it's not a big deal to you all that Red Bull overspends in order to compete and develop new parts to be more competitive and faster than their counterparts on the grid, by therefore not adhering to a financial regulation. That's not a big deal. No, it's not a big deal because you're in with the scam and the shams and the shenanigans. You're not being objective. Not only are you not being objective, it really tells about your integrity and your character. But it's all in a line. Once again, I'm not saying the Red Bull's guilty. I'm saying the speculation's growing to the point that major outlets are reporting on this speculation. And it's not coming from just anywhere. It has to come from somewhere. Somebody's just not sitting in the office saying, you know what? I think I'm going to make a report that Red Bull is overspending. That's what I want to do. I don't have shit else to do with my reporting life. Red Bull's overspending. I'm writing that up. This not just coming from that. This got to be coming from somewhere legit. Just like I know a lot of you want to be like, you know what? I feel like today there has to be at least two teams going over 4 millimeters of flex in the panels. It gotta be. I'm gonna make this shit up. That's not being made up. It's coming from somewhere. Something has been checked that led somebody to know that teams are flexing over the allowed limit. Y'all gotta get over this stuff. Y'all gotta stop this. This is getting crazy. This is getting crazy. Okay? You gotta stop it. At some point in time, you gotta say, listen, I know I support a team. I know I favor a driver, but yo, for the greatness of the sport, if this is true, I cannot ride with that. Trust me, if I found out, if it comes to light that Mercedes overspent, I'm going to be right here saying that that's a damn shame that a team with the integrity that is upheld in the spectators' viewing eyes has done something like this, but it hasn't happened yet. Did you see Mercedes' name in there? I didn't see it. Didn't see it. Did you see Alpine's name in there? I didn't see it. Did you see McLaren's name in there? Didn't see it. 2 teams. Wait a minute. Wasn't it supposedly 2 teams that was supposedly running faulty floors? I'm just saying that, this 2-2-2 starting to like be a ongoing thing. So, hey, I mean, say what you want to say, but that's not looking good. So now what does this do for this year's championship on top of last year? We already know last year's championship was a scam. That is not respected. This year, I was wondering if Max was going to get his legitimate championship early or not. A legitimate championship, cool. But we got the flex and floor shit. All right, kind of questionable. Now we got the speculation of overspending on the cost cap. Like I said, where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm just I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real. So we're gonna be here again in the morning. We're gonna be here for qualifying. I'm gonna be here with content. We're gonna talk about some of the upgrades. Not as many, but there's some things to go over. We had the pictures. We're gonna talk about power unit elements just like we usually do. Show the teams that are definitely. I'm wondering if these other 2 teams that haven't ran over yet are gonna run over. And also, we'll talk about some other things that I saw mentioned during FP1 and FP2 where I kind of thought that was some shenanigans. Like, what are you talking about, lady? Nobody should be questioning if that guy's going to be there. You need to be questioning if the other guy should even be there, and he needs to be replaced. But that lady, she tends to say some things that are very questionable, and I'd be wondering, like, what is your angle? I'm watching you. But anyway, listen, we're going to be here live. We got the podium bottle. Hopefully we pop it. Many of us have speculated or forecasted that Singapore might be the area. G5 MDS is hot as hell in the kitchen. I'm trying to tell you, bro, they cooking in there. That they starting to be like, oh shit. Yeah, get that water. Drink that water, because I know you getting hot. I know you getting hot. I know you are. Who else we got in there? Wait a minute. I ain't miss you. No, Automane, this is true. Anyone surprised? Hell no. We not surprised. Hell no, we not surprised. This is not a surprise. This is the only thing that's this won't even be surprising to me, is if this just disappears and like we don't hear anything about it. If this comes without any type of answer from the FIA, from the adjudication panel, from anybody that is supposed to be involved in investigating this stuff, I'm going to question furthermore the integrity of Formula One. Just real talk. I'm going to question it. I got to question it, because this is crazy. This is crazy. You at least have to answer to that. There has to be some investigation into that. You don't just not look into it. You need to look into that. But we've seen this before, right? Ferrari got a hefty fine, a hefty penalty, yet FIA never disclosed what their findings were. You had to have found something if you fined a team damn near $500,000. It just wasn't for nothing. I think it was $500,000 or something. Like, it was up there. It was a ticket. But you never disclosed, it was PI, it was, intellectual property. We didn't know it was illegal intellectual property, which you should be able to put in the damn report and let us know what was Ferrari doing. I told you all kind of found out through things that changed, regulations, certain things that happened after that. But still, that didn't show great integrity on Formula One not to report fully what they found during that Ferrari investigation that led them to think that a hefty fine of that magnitude was warranted. That should have been reported to us as the public, the investing spectators who buy Formula One TV, who buy Formula One tickets, who buy Formula One damn merch, all of that. Yes, you do have a responsibility to let us know if a team was not upholding standards, what happened and what they were doing. I'm just saying, like that. Come on. Come on. So anyway, just had to get on here live. I was sitting in my damn seat. I was like, hell no, we got to talk. Ernie Simmons. Yeah, Ernie. All the way predictable. All the way predictable, Ernie. It ain't no lying. I'm just saying we don't have to necessarily like Red Bull, Mercedes, McLaren, Alpine, Haas, AlphaTauri, any of them. We're just saying that when things come out like this, let's just keep it real and like really think about it as far as the integrity of the sport. Like your drivers are not going to be there forever. These teams may not even be there forever. The sport itself may not be there forever, but it's probably going to last longer than individual teams. That's been proven thus far. Eric TB4, what we got? How do you feel about the FIA removing? I don't even know if you finished that, Eric. I don't know. Did you finish that? I couldn't even tell Eric finished that. Was it Massey? Was that what you was gonna say? Damn. Let me see if he typed it in the chat. If I could see that. Let me see. What'd you say? How do you feel about the FIA removing? Removing what, Eric? Removing what? I'll answer that question, but I don't know what it is you're porpoising. Oh my gosh, Eric. All right. Thank you. Thank you for finishing that. Big shout out to you. How do I feel about that? Let me tell you how I feel about that. I feel like it might be some bullshit. There might be a little bit of BS in there. Okay. First of all, the explanation is that because Singapore is a street circuit, therefore the physical attributes of Singapore cause vertical acceleration, not so much the porpoising of the car, that we're going to move those limits up. Let me ask you this. What do your limits have to do with, if you're moving them up, how does that still show that you're about driver safety? Shouldn't you have told, instead of moving the limit, should you not have moved the car height? I got to ask them, like, is it driver safety or is it about allowing a team to, not be challenged, other teams? It just seemed real funny, right? Because I would have thought that it would have been more like of a characteristic trait of like, we're really about driver safety for them to come out and say, hey, for the Singapore track, everybody's got to lift their car 1 millimeter. That should decrease the vertical acceleration by not only the physical attributes of the track, but also whatever you already had with the fact that you're dealing with the new ground effects this season. That's what I think they should have did. I don't think they should have raised the limit. Like, you didn't do anything great there. Like, that's, I'm really not in favor with that. So that's how I feel about that. I don't think that was like the best move. I think they should have told everybody 1 millimeter up. And then that, therefore, will assist us in trying to improve driver safety because we don't want anybody having concussed brains like Tua did. The NFL knew damn well that Tua Tagovailoa had a damn concussion Sunday. He didn't grab his back. He grabbed his head, stood up, fell, stumbled back to the ground, and had to be helped up by a lineman. You allowed him and the team to pass off that it was his back, therefore avoiding concussion protocol for him to play yesterday night game, and he ended up in the hospital because he got concussed again to the point where he went like this. That is dangerous. That is malpractice. Should be damn right illegal, and somebody should be suing somebody. That right there was something like the F1 does. The NFL were worried about their product and not the player. Tua was concussed Sunday. Facts. He was concussed Sunday. He didn't grab his back. No, let me see. The safety is only about. No, say it again. Say it again, no. I'm dabbing you for that. No, you right. It's all about jewelry, right? You know what I'm saying? If you got on a few more Paddocks, then they want to see some Richard Milles. It's more to see some Rolexes, some APs. Then it's a problem. You got some nose rings, it's a problem, especially if you Lewis Hamilton. But let me get this right. Vertical acceleration is not a problem. So we're going to allow you to have more vertical acceleration during this race. That's stupid. That's basically what you just told the teams. We're going to raise the limit so you can go ahead and fuck up the drivers. Like, come on, man. They got to cut this out. Cut this out for real. Appreciate you, Race X210. Thank you very much for hitting that scammer. But yeah, I'm definitely not feeling it. We're gonna go into some more stuff tomorrow. I'm gonna do my best to try to take my treatments tonight so I could be good and ready for in the morning. So hopefully we don't have any issues that will keep me from coming on right when we need to. So definitely gonna be doing that. We're gonna get everything else straight. I think I am looking forward to the Singapore GP race. I think, I'm gonna tell you, seeing Lewis Hamilton and FP1 at the top really didn't do much for me. I really need to see what happens in Q3. I always tell y'all we got to see what happens when they push the chips to the metal. I had my new Springfield Armory Saint come in today. So I spent a lot of time at the gunsmith getting that thing outfitted, making sure everything was right, and then the range closed before we can get it sighted in. So I meant to do it live earlier, but got caught up with that, and I had to get that done so I can go ahead and get it home. But I definitely wasn't going to miss coming on live hollering at y'all about these shenanigans that we're seeing. I'm going to be up late creating the rest of the content for tomorrow's upgrade list. I already started on that. So y'all be here tomorrow. We're going to be live for Quality Kickback. We're going to talk about all this plus more of the things that I will be releasing tomorrow before qualifying. And we're going to be lit as hell on Sunday. Don't forget, watch out for the new trailer for Finale Lap, all right? Not Quality Kickback. The new trailer will play during Finale Lap. Robert Christensen, let's go, brother. Let's go, bro. Let's see this thing up, man. Robert, we about to turn up. I'm telling you, we about to turn up tomorrow qualifying. I do have a good feeling about qualifying tomorrow. I do. For some reason, I do. I can't explain it. I can't give you any evidence or any facts or notes on it. For some reason, I just feel good. So I don't know if it's because race week is back and I missed some racing, or I just feel good about the progression that Mercedes has been making. And I just think maybe, like I said, I think Singapore may be this track. I could be wrong, right? I could be wrong, but I just feel that way. And don't forget, maybe I feel good because it's French Toast Sundays. Because I'm about to get the French toast. I've been on a French toast diet. I haven't had no French toast, and I'm ready to have some because I'm going to cook that thing up and then post a picture. All right, so I really appreciate y'all. By the way, big things have been happening behind the scenes with Wolfpack and entities. So I'm looking at some of that, working on some of that. Some things may happen, some things may not, but it is promising that they are approaching approaching Wolfpack with certain things in conversation. So I'm really looking forward to a lot of things. Eventually, our platform is going to grow exponentially. So y'all stay tuned for that. Y'all stay with the fam. Don't abandon the fam, because if you get off the train and then it starts really rolling, you're going to be mad. Of course, I'm going to let you back on because I love you. But then people going to call you a bandwagon rider. I don't know nobody call you a bandwagon rider. So, all right, I'm going to be ready to get up out of here. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Peace, love, and let's get cranking. Don't be late. I'm about to post a link not too long after this. Set your reminders, y'all. Come back to the channel. Set your reminders so you don't be late for these lives. All right, peace.